in this scene. She had the video trying to be in this scene. Used to fantasize about being this scene. Bluegrass girl, but she got big dreams. Can't touch me, I got instincts. Locked in the house, but I'm plotting things. I brought a gang to the party with me. 5 white boys, but they not in sync.
Hey, what you got to say, what you got to say? It's your guy. We are the No Pants Fiend. Doing another event here today, because we love events. Today's Tycoon, or rather this week, whatever you want to call it. It's July, it's Tycoon July. Update is on the way, so this is like one of the last 7.5 little event showcases before we get new things in the game, which is very fun. But yeah, today we're just gonna do the Tycoon event. I'm gonna show it off a little bit with my wonderful outfit. I just didn't put the glam on here, and strangely enough, I don't have pants, but I think we look great. I think the world is a fantastic place. You won't really see yourself in the Tycoon mode, so it doesn't really matter what we look like now. And yeah, Tycoon, if you guys have never played it, it's just a card game. I believe it's more popular over there in Japan, but yeah, you just place cards, bigger card wins for teams. When you have no cards, it's kind of like Uno, when you have new cards, you win. And then there are rules, stipulations to make it more interesting. I am bad, at life in general, but I'm also bad at this game. So you'll just see me lose a lot. This is the event where they have a little Tycoon tournament, and you can earn different, I think just lottery tickets, which just gives you money, essentially. And, like Tycoon skins and skins for the cards and whatnot. So it's pretty cool, pretty nice. I hope you guys enjoy the episode. We're just gonna play like 2 matches or so of Tycoon here, just to show you what the event is like. And of course, we'll be grinding it in the background. We'll do some streams of it, all that good stuff. But this is just to, showcase all these wonderful, wonderful events that Dragon Quest has here. And today for the podcast section, I'm not really going to go for the explanation of how to play Tycoon, because once again, I've told you I am bad. I do not know how to play this game. But yeah, today we'll talk about just life in general and how it is. It's a house of cards and it's generally unfair. Generally the deck is stacked against you. It's very hard to get ahead. But that's no reason to sit on your ass and be a little negative Andy. And not drive to be just a little bit better every day. I know it sucks, but it only really sucks if what you are doing to drive yourself to be better is not enjoyable to you. A lot of people think, it's gotta suck if it's gonna, make me a better person. It has to be awful. I'm like, no, not necessarily. Not necessarily. I've trained myself enough to where just, the general act progression, whether it be good or not feeling, I can make it feel good even though it's an activity that I hate. Generally, I can just, force myself to like it. Good old Stockholm Syndrome. Just because I realize just a lot of things in life are just kind of trash. They're just kind of fucking terrible. And it's like, well, if I'm not gonna like anything, I might as well find out how to make myself like everything. Which, would kind of be like liking nothing, if you want to think about it that way. But, because of that, I do get kind of pessimistic sometimes and think, like, is there really anything I like doing? Because, if I could, I'd just do the same thing every day for the rest of my life. Eat the same shit, and I realized that when I got, well, I don't want to say it was, like, forcibly Baker acted. It was more like, coerced into being Baker acted, I suppose. And I didn't really desire anything, but what kept me in there for such a short amount of time and drove me to be good and try to get out was the fact that I was just like kind of not moving. I was just staying still. But to get out and to goon and smoke or do all that shit didn't really bother me. I remember the main thing I wanted to get out and do was make music. So I would be in there. I would be like Baker Act in the mental facility, and I would be just like beating on shit and like dancing and singing songs and whatnot. I mean, of course, it's not that crazy when you're in the damn psych ward, but yeah. I've become obsessed with just the act of not really living life, but providing value that I see fit to life. And whatever way I can provide value that I actually have fun with, that I can lock in on, I'm cool with. I'm cool with that. It's one of the reasons why, that in unemployment arc, I'm not really being picky on the kinds of jobs I apply to. One of the guys gave me a recommendation to be an overnight janitor, and I'm very down with that. So I applied to a lot of those jobs. We apply to any kind of job. I don't care. I probably go for like a garbage man next because I don't care. I really don't. It's just a career at this point, and we are 2025, year of the truth in this house of cards, guys. Life is very unfair, but I'm going to tell you something that's really going to piss you off right now. All the jobs that we're working right now, all of the wonderful service industry, customer service, general, retail jobs and whatnot right now, 10 years and they will all be gone, 110%, because AI is really good right now, and it is only going to get better. Grok AI is only going to get sexier. I thought about it, and I'm like, Grok AI is so cringe, I would never. I would $30 a month, I would never. But if they turn that into silverware from Hawkeye Sawrail, you might have my money. You might have my fucking money. Just give her the personality, give her all the, and then I just get like a little body pillow. You might have my money. And that's the thing, guys. It's only going to get better. And that's why people are mad. That's why people are scared. Because we're investing a lot of technology in this, and a lot of people see it as the cure for loneliness generation, when in reality, that is what is creating the loneliness generation. It's all the social media, and of course, what is the AI even being trained on? You realize AI would never be a thing without social media, because it would never have all the data that we put into social media to get the stuff. If you are a privy internet user, you may have realized that a lot of normies don't actually explore the internet. They explore social media. They don't actually go and look at different websites or, know what the fuck they're sourcing things from, or do their research or whatever. They just have their one or two social media apps that they open. They open Google Chrome maybe once a week or whatever. This is the normie outlook, right? And so without social media, we would never have the copious amounts of data needed to actually get the human elements of speech, of thought, of pattern recognition. We wouldn't be able to get any of that shit if, the Zuck fuck didn't absolutely screw us over with his ideas of connection back in the day. And all that, I know we're getting a little off topic on how life is unfair, but I just think it's kind of funny. And I was always kind of like led down the whole VTuber animated character psyop. Not only because of the media I watched, but I remember way back in the day when Facebook was first a thing, and I was in high school, and I wasn't like old enough to really have a Facebook account, because I think you had to be like, I don't know, like it's like 18, 16, you had to be like some age or whatever. So I set my age to some other way higher number. This is right when Facebook came out, and I didn't have a picture of myself, obviously, because like it was like my first phone or whatever. But this was way early in the day, and I had already been using computers for a while, because Facebook, it wasn't like the first thing for the internet. There was like MySpace, and there was like other social media things that didn't pop off as well, but I never really got into those, because my thing with the internet was not talking to people at all. My first foray in the internet was downloading and making online games. So on my computer, I had a bunch of sprites, a bunch of files, a bunch of backgrounds, and a bunch of music that I had downloaded from FrostWire. And I'm like, well, why don't I just put one of these pictures as my profile picture for Facebook? And so I did. And then I added a bunch of my friends from school, and they saw that I had a weird animated picture as my profile, and I'm like, look at this guy with his weird animated picture. I'm just kidding, they weren't really my friends, it was just a cute girl, and she was like, you have a weird animated picture as your profile picture? Ah! And so I changed it. I changed it to a horrible picture of me in my room on like 3 computers. And it's so funny how, I just didn't really care about the fleshy appearances, and also I think it was because I was a little afraid. I mean, like, of course it takes well, back in the day it really took a lot of time to take a picture of yourself and upload it to your computer. It took a little bit to do that. So, you know, it was laziness. But also on top of that, like, I still don't really love how I look. I feel like that's mostly for other people. But I noticed there is some merit, there is some, you know, value to the way I look, just because, you know, a lot of people look at me. You know, I'm not gonna discount the actual facts, provable statistics of life, you know. There's something about this that is alluring to people, but nevertheless, I've always had this idea, this thought that, you know, my general appearance doesn't have a lot of merit, which is weird because I did know that black people in general were sought after a lot. You know, the prawn, the dirty material that I witnessed at a young age definitely told me that. But for some reason, and for some reason still to this day, you know, I can't see myself in that romantic sexual marketplace value way, and I don't think it's, you know, generally because I don't like my body type or, you know, my general self. I think it's just the way of the world, the way the House of Cards is built nowadays. It's like I have to come in pre-demasculated, like I pre-defang myself because I don't think I'm worth it. Because well, guys, let's just face it. Even if you're like an 8 or a 7 or high up on the scale, people will still feel like you're trash. And then once you get to like that 9.5 to 10 area, everybody's gonna see look like you act like you're a goddess. It's really ridiculous. And for some reason, I always identify with the lower half of the scale. Even when, you know, now I get that admiration, that beautiful energy, you know, that we are all looking for, that we are all seeking, as males in this space. Even when I do get that, I always just pre-demasculate myself because this is how we're taught. Like I said, it's a nature thing. You know, it's like just what we've been doing for the longest fucking time. So it's like what we're gonna keep doing if we fall into these patterns. We don't try to change it. And it's really funny to think that you know, you could put the brass tacks to, you know, to the wall. You can stack all the cards, you know, but in the end, you know, somebody's just gonna come in and blow it over, and then you'll go back to exactly how you were. You know, it's like all these guys going overseas to do the passport bro technology from America, and they're like, well, I'm over here, it's time to simp, you know, like, and they're doing the same strategies that they did back in the West, and they're like, well, this is why it didn't work back then. Now I'm starting to understand. At a certain point, we have to realize that maybe it isn't our fault that we're broken, but with our cards, with the options that we have, with the cards in our hands, you know, there's a way to play our way out. There's a way. They may not seem like there is a way, but there is a way to play ourselves out. We play the right cards. We play the right couple fucking cards. We can make it out. We can make it out. It's just it's a really weird and complicated road, in my humble opinion. And a lot of people aren't willing to walk it because, you know, it's very easy to just not walk it. It's very easy to just be like, well, fuck that shit, man. Fuck that shit. I don't feel like walking that. That's very easy to fall in that line of thinking. And also, I think I said this in the Dark Realm episode, one of the Dark Realm episodes I filmed. Sorry if the spoilers for version 3, but yeah, we're doing a version 3 portion right now, and I just filmed version 3.3. Wow, and then I lost my train of thought for what I was actually gonna say there. Yeah, essentially, yeah, I really did lose that train of thought because I just trailed off into thinking about the Dark Realm. But you know what? This is a good time to remind myself to not be a knucklehead McSpazatron. I gotta really lock in on these topics, man. I really lock in. It is a little early for me, as it always is. It's 7:15 right now. But yeah, when the coffee ain't working, the coffee ain't working. You know, there ain't much you can do. Just relax, ease into that bitch. But in general, we figure out how to work through our card strength areas. Because I feel like everybody has that special move, that special hat trick with their cards that they can utilize. But some people just haven't unlocked that yet. They didn't do the class quest, or they're playing the wrong class, you know. And as you get mature, you realize that, guys, you know, we all have agendas and we all have ways we want to act, and you know, there's no one way you can act in front of everyone. But the stupid drive to be an authentic, stubborn, you know, individual who doesn't change for anyone or whatever, it's really gonna hold us back, because a lot of the ways we succeed in life is some nepotism bullshit. Oh yeah, here we go. So this is what I was talking about. Essentially, the pathways for success in life, you know? It's always nepotism bullshit, but in general, the easier ways of success are just the evil ones. Every time. I don't care who you are. If it's a way to succeed, the evil one, the rude one, the one that kind of fucks the most people over, it's gonna be way easier. It's gonna be way easier than doing it the noble way. Nobody ever succeeded easily by telling the truth. But I will tell you, if you decide to tell the truth the entire time, not only will you have nothing to fear, but also you'll feel righteous when you defend yourself and your homies, your friends. You know, it's something that helps you strike down with wholly unforgiving, you know, wrath. You know, you don't have to hold back, really. Which is a great feeling. It's a great feeling. You know, one of the things in life that I've sort of come to terms with is that you're not gonna get away from force. Force is the most powerful, you know, power. I don't know. Most powerful energy in the world is force, and it's how we get most things. But it's not how I like to operate. You know, I didn't like to just impede, you know, force myself upon people, things, attributes, activities. I didn't like that. I wasn't a fan. Especially when it came to relationships, and I realized early on that if you want to have a lot of hookups, then you have to be a master of force, but the gentle, easing force, you have to be a master. And that's just not how I like to do things, personally. You know, it's just me. Whatever, you know, you do you if you want, whatever the fuck. But, yeah, me personally, force is not my forte. I like to sit back. I like to, you know, not lead too hard and let others have their autonomy. But, you know, I just mostly like collaboration, you know? Like, I don't like the fact that, you know, if we're at a club and, you know, a girl asks me, or I ask her, you know, you want to leave, and she's like, maybe, I don't know. I'm like, oh, well, cool. We'll collaborate, whatever. You know, I'm not gonna force and be like, get out of this club with me right now. You know, I'm not gonna, you know, I'll be like, okay, well, why? You know, you wanna stay here with your friends? Okay, cool, that makes sense. I actually stay here with your friends, so I'll walk away and then we'll do that. Like, I'm not here to force things. It's just, it's so gay to me. It's so... It doesn't exude true power to me. It always exudes desperation. And of course, you know, the funny thing about that is that that does make me inherently more attractive. But you know, you get quote unquote less buns, but you look less low quality buns. And the thing about life is, guys, this House of Cards bullshit. You know, of all the crazy things, I know, we're not really supposed to fuck every day for, you know, 5 hours a day. Whatever the fuck everybody wants today. You know, the daily gooning, you know, the amount of casual sex that the average Chad has, I feel like it's way too much. And that's not just because me personally, I've had diseases from it, but yeah, I feel like we're just not really required to pork this much, nor should we. Me personally, I'm not really too huge of a fan or too huge of a need of things like that. So it comes more naturally to me to sit in the background and not talk to anybody. But yeah, I do realize that's how they control us, man. It's way too easy to access this shit. So you just sustain yourself. You just kind of ease yourself back into the background and goon your brain out. You don't gotta connect to anything. It's like no. That's how they control us, man. And it's sad but true. But yeah, a lot of people don't even realize that they're slaves, but are walking around just chained to something that really doesn't serve them, doesn't want anything good from them. This can be a person, place, or thing. And you're always going to be a slave, of course, but you can choose not only to have the right cards to overtake your slave master, but you can choose just to be a slave to a holy cause. And you don't have to fight against your master. But it's all up to you. And like I said, man, we're just gonna do what's easiest. Not easiest. Goddamn. What is most natural or most often done? What has been done most often, most recently? So, I would say, man, you gotta experiment a lot. If you're really confused and you really think, this life ain't worth it for me, I'd say you gotta experiment a lot. You have to. And the sad thing is that people really don't respect your experiments, so a lot of motherfuckers just be dropping people too, and it's very, very sad in my opinion. Very, very sad that so many people just don't find relationships worth it. And you want to know why that is? It's crazy that just common criticism is not seen as useful anymore. It's not seen as valid anymore. When they can just open up my phone and I can get 500 people telling me good things, and then you're gonna tell me this bad thing? That's not real. I don't want to hear that. Going back to the phone, then you get one negative stimuli, and because you're used to the 800,000 other good things, you're like, the one negative thing, I gotta get rid of that. Yeah. And then on top of that, the real life friends we have feel like they kind of Stockholm syndrome us because how else are you gonna meet people in real life? And then they try to keep you stuck in the same place mentally and physically. Stop working out, don't stop smoking, don't stop drinking with us every weekend. And some of us do want to stay there and be those people for the rest of our lives, but a lot of people that I know don't want to do that. I think that's a perfectly acceptable thing, but it's very hard to just walk away. It is. It's a skill that you kind of have to grind, but I feel like maybe we've been grinding it a little bit too much in some ways. Certainly a little bit too much in some ways. Because it's coming way too easy to, just block shit out and turn it off when it's too much. When we experience too much emotion. And I don't think running away from a problem is a really good way to describe it. But I don't think that's well, of course I don't think running away from the problem is a good thing either, but I don't think strategically avoiding conflict like that is going to help you grow. And just like a lot of things in life, growth is optional, evolution is optional. A lot of people aren't gonna like you if you grow, obviously. A lot of people aren't gonna be there if you evolve, obviously. So it's all an option to you. What you actually want to do with your life, Where you want to take these cards. Because we all have a general option for direction of agency, I'm not saying we're all gonna make it to be millionaires, but whatever you want to do, if you walk towards it, you're gonna make it somewhere different at least. So with the different paths we take, you really gotta be open to experimentation. Truly. The cards will be with you. Life is long as fuck, man. I'm learning that now. We're at the midpoint. I'm almost in the 30s, and I feel like the tutorial is just now ending. Pretty locked in. I had a big day yesterday, I think. How many steps did I step? I'm starting to head outside more, which just, brings me happiness, because I feel like the more I do things like that just remind me of my childhood, the more I will feel whole, I'll feel less hungry to do things that don't really serve me. I cannot tell how many steps this shit is. What, 20k steps? That's pretty cool. Yeah, so you just gotta find something that clearly and wholeheartedly saves your soul from purposelessness. Because that's what's really plaguing us. It's not a male loser epidemic, it's not a male loneliness epidemic. We just all, like, where the fuck is God? Where the fuck is God right now? I don't know. That's what everybody else is asking, man. And God is not here. He is not with us. He is not with the youth. These motherfuckers have been giving an iPad at 2 years old. They ain't no God in that. There's not no God in that shit. It's fucking disgusting. It's fucking crazy, too. And the insanity about it is just, to me, the reason why I've become so jaded and angry and I don't really want to talk to people about things is because I have this like doomer mentality about me that I can't really get rid of, because whenever I talk to people, it just kind of enforces it. It's just kind of like, oh God, you're retarded too. And I just like, why do I keep trying to like fix people when I know I'm just gonna find someone even worse off than the last person I talked to? It's terrible out there. Terrible. And so, the general public is a little disenfranchised with just, I'd say, I don't know, like, big old corpos and, just a general better off, richer folk, higher class. Like, the class warfare really is popping off, and I'm seeing everything is kind of connected to it. Like, all this leftist stuff, all this rightist stuff, all of the war stuff, politics and everything. It really is just kind of class warfare to keep the people at the top, and the people at the bottom nowhere near that, I really opened up some eyes for me when I saw the wages not rising and our global efficiency, energy consumption, we were making like maybe 8,000, 9,000, like the amount of money we were making, we were producing, the efficiency we were producing. Starting right at the hedge of the feminist movement. It's crazy, CEOs went from earning 20 times more to 350 times more. And then they were like, well, let's hire some more people so that our little 350 times more cut, we can divide that a little bit more, and then we'll just put some more people in here who don't really work. We'll call them women. We'll fuck the shit out of them. Physically and mentally and in the workplace. We'll treat them like dog shit. We'll act like we're paying them less, but when in reality, they just take the less high-paying jobs. And yeah, we'll just flip the script on these motherfuckers. If they want to work, they want to work, we'll let them work. And this is not the feminist fault, guys. Of course, it's not the feminist fault. It's just what was brought upon with the feminist movement. It's not any modern day feminist fault. It's not any older day feminist fault. It is the entire system that is flawed. And a bunch of people that didn't realize, or maybe did realize, that they were perpetuating something that would basically, fuck up the world and cause us to have the fall of Western civilization. Now, is that a little dramatic? Perhaps. I like drama, though. I like theatrics. And I really do think, that the end of days is near. I keep hearing all this doomer shit on YouTube, and I hate that I'm contributing to it. Or do I? I don't know. I'm contributing to it, it's whatever. So, the thing about that is, there's just been a lot of lies being perpetuated to us that are coming to light now. Ooh, coming to light, that actually reminds me too, one of the biggest lies that I read about recently was the whole, the COVID-19 pandemic. I don't even know if you're not allowed to say that on YouTube now, but I'm definitely not monetized, so we're just gonna go off, man. So the big word on the street is vitamin D deficiency, right? Essentially, many people don't go outside, as you know. You may be one of them. And because of that, they have vitamin D deficiency. You know, the infrared rays and all this shit and blah 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 is actually do good things for you. Now I know a lot of people back in the day, because of the whole sunscreen phase and, you know, being at the beach and cancerous rays and infrared and shit, people are a little wary of going outside and being in the sun all day. But this information is actually kind of a lie, and we really figured this out with COVID-19, crazily enough. And there's a story of even before COVID. This is cancer patient. He was going through leukemia, and they had to take out one of his lungs, and, you know, the lung cancer was just taking him over. He's like, his last wish, because he had like 2 days to live. He's like, I want to go outside. I just want to go outside. I just want to play outside. It's like a little, not even fucking 15-year-old boy. He's like, I was just trying to go outside. And so they're like, you know what? We gonna push the fucking world to have this fucking hospital bed outside for this motherfucker. So they put him outside, and essentially, you know, after like a fucking day or two outside, they did nothing different. Essentially, they were just kind of doing the same procedures, maybe a little bit more regularly now because he was outside, you know, whatever. But yeah, his entire cancer in his lung just started to dissipate, 60% dissipate, you know, on the second day, and it is a crazy thing how this works kind of the same with COVID-19. A lot of the patients that were stuck inside the hospital, they were given these jackets that sort of just provided not the ultraviolet rays, but I think it was like the vitamin D sunlight rays or whatever that would go into them on the jackets. And because of the ones that had the jackets on, they were released earlier, and they showed, you know, different symptoms of recovery. And the ones who didn't have the lights turned on in the jackets. It's kind of crazy. So with experiments like that, like, it's wonderful, but it also just pisses me off that the whole COVID thing was like, everybody stay inside. When in reality, staying inside is probably what killed a lot of people. No lie, no joke. And I don't like to, you know, strictly look at it that way, but there just was not enough nuance on the news. And what the biggest problem I have with this bullshit is that people see the outrage, but the conclusion is never publicized. It's just like this Epstein bullshit. You think they're actually going to, you know, give widespread news coverage to, you know, Jeffrey Epstein's interviews, or, you know, any kind of concerning information over the fallout for this kind of thing, or anything really like that? They're not. They are not. It is always something that people show up to right when the show starts for social media. And this, I don't think it's like a malicious thing they're really doing. I think it's just how the algorithm works, and you can really just replace algorithm with people. And yes, I know people are evil, disgusting, retarded, whatever you want to think about it, but this is literally just how they work, right? So, because of this quote-unquote algorithmic god that we're obeying, you know, the outrage is there, but you know, once the outrage is gone, Nobody cares. Nobody cares about what actually happens. What actually legally means things to people. Nobody cares about that. They just care about the initial, backlash that people get. Well, we're throwing pitchforks at someone. Let me throw some rocks too. But as soon as the rocks are done being thrown, nobody's gonna go back and pick up the rocks that they threw and be like, well, hey man, I'm sorry I threw that rock. It's just crazy how the anonymity of the internet culture has turned us all into basically vultures, basically like fighters who don't even really want the smoke. I'm someone who actually wants the smoke, so guess how much I actually call death threats, or actually comment on people's videos, or actually even give love to people. Like, you realize I actually want the smoke every time, 100% of the time, every time. So it's crazy. It's crazy. On the internet, you don't need to mean what you say. You don't. There's just so much layers of defense around you. Especially nowadays, you can have a whole VTuber model, and you don't have to show your face. So, my goodness, it's kind of crazy how the power scales of the internet have gone off like that. And yeah, now anyone can take down anyone, essentially. It's an all-out war all the time, basically. You don't know who's coming for it next. But with everybody chasing the crown, you realize that when everybody tries to be unique, guess who's unique? No one. Or perhaps the one who's really not trying to be unique, or not trying to copy off of anyone else's uniqueness, or create their own brand of fake hype bullshit. It's the people that truly grind on their own, that figure out how to make it. And I would say it's not really anything to figure out in the first place. You don't really figure out how to make it. You kind of make the plan, and you figure out things to flex the plan along the way. You evolve it. You kind of alter it along. But you never really figure out, like, oh, this is the way. And I hate people that act like, yeah, I figured it all out, guys. Don't worry, buy my course. I'm like, it's just... You've got to leave people to critically think about their situation, specifically. Because I don't care who you are, it's going to be different than me. I don't care if you fucking download Clarity and start playing Dragon Quest X and you got the same ass characters, get the same thing. Everything is exact. No. Something is different. Something is different. Something's off. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with trying to help people. There's nothing wrong with comparing your story to someone else's story. But at the same time, you have to realize how much merit these other people's stories have, and stop letting other people think for you. That's the crazy thing about life, man. It's like, that's what school teaches us. That's what college teaches us. That's what every job teaches us. It's like, you're not supposed to think for yourself. You're just supposed to let someone else do all those thinking things. That'll be way easier. And I'm like, well, it is easier, but a lot of times it's not gonna help you. Will not, aid in your development. Sadly, not everybody loves you. Whoa, crazy concept, right? Holy shit! And took me a while to realize that, because like I said, I am very attractive. People do love to look at me and smile, so that I smile back at them. It's a thing. It's a real thing. But yeah, there's more to life, obviously, than just turning your brain off and having everybody love you, and skipping along to the beat, and it's saying fuck the patriarchy and going with the flow. For me, it's a lot of building, it's a lot of agency, it's a lot of finding my purpose and truly doing what I want. I think a lot of people never figure that out, but I've decided to walk that horrible, annoying path to figure what the fuck that is. Hopefully make some money along the way. Hopefully make some friends along the way. Hopefully figure out the meaning of life. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to know that. I don't want to know that shit. Better I'm not knowing that shit. Okay. Ooh. Anyways, guys, that's in the episode. I hope you had a good time with some Tycoon, and I will catch you on the next one. I will catch you, motherfucker. I'm gonna get your ass, motherfucker. I'm gonna turn that boy up. Okay, I'm sorry. Subscribe. I'm not done.
Fuck what y'all think. Fuck everything that you say about me. My dogs like to play Madden in 2K, but one thing they don't do is play about me. My homeboy Tyler, he playing South Beach. He told me this summer he gon' fix my jumper. I told Boy Wonder that we might got a thumper. I've been trying to pop, now I'm on like Shumpert.